Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beans, the web's coffee roasters only podcast. If you are not a coffee roaster, stop listening right now.
Please turn off this podcast if you do not.
It's not for you.
Roast coffee.
It's not for you. Oh no, that was that was a little joke again. This is actually Bear vs. Mancast. It's Wednesday, February 25th, and Ryan and I are going to tell you a little bit about video games, specifically what we played this week, and maybe a little bit of news about what's going on in the world of video games.
We skipped the news last week.
I tried to cram it in at the end,
Yeah.
but we just played so many games. We had like 2 weeks worth of games built up that we just had to gush about.
I have this problem again where I have a list here of about 3 games. I played too many games.
I actually had a point last week where I was like, dude, I don't think I've played enough games. I don't know what I'm going to talk about on the podcast. And then I played like all of the games, and I don't have that problem anymore.
Great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Ryan, what's my name?
Oh, your name is Nick.
Yeah.
I feel
It is.
like in the future you should say your name too.
I don't want to.
That's fine. Also,
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
This is discussion. This is a discussion for another time,
this is
Ryan.
the discussion cast. The cast about.
You know what's not a discussion for another time?
Yes.
What games did you play this week?
Okay. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Am I? Is it like really shocking or?
No.
All right. That sounds like good old Ryan.
So, I've been putting a fair amount of time into Puyo Puyo Tetris this week.
Yeah. You've been playing with like the one player?
Yeah, I beat the whole single player story mode, which was hard as fuck.
Can you tell me? So just real quick, because I don't think I'm ever gonna play it. Can you just break down like the general story beat of Puyo Pop Tetris for me?
I will try, but it's in Japanese.
Oh, I thought because you bought a Japanese game, you were fluent or otherwise able to read it.
No, I can play Tetris and Puyo Puyo.
Kind of.
No, I'm actually okay at Puyo Puyo. It's hard as fuck. That's the one I've had the least practice with. Obviously, every child in America has played Tetris. That's not true. But we have. But, so Puyo Puyo Tetris, the story mode, from what I can gather, I started off in a spaceship, and I had to play Puyos, and then I landed, and I went to high school, and I met Dr. Science Bear.
Really?
Yes, that's really happened.
Alchemist Bear?
Yeah, Alchemist Bear.
Okay.
And then there's all these characters, and I don't know what's happening. And then we went back to space, and then we went to, like, super space, which is just, like...
Oh, okay.
Because there was, like, preordained, I don't know, like, weird, churchy-looking things you went in. And then you just played a bunch of Puyo Puyo and Tetris, and sometimes they were together. And sometimes...
Did you play as...
It was really hard.
Did you play as a specific character, or were you just like...
No, you're like
your
bouncing.
character wasn't present, and you're playing as Ryan.
You're bouncing all over the place. You're playing as
Okay.
like I think there's 20 characters, and you eventually play as all of them.
Do the different characters matter at all?
No, they are completely aesthetic.
Interesting.
Which is why everybody should just play as their favorite person.
So we played this game a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about it on the podcast because we're assholes.
Oops.
So it turns out that there really is no reason not to play as Tetris Bot, the greatest character ever in any medium.
I unlocked Sword Kid, which you haven't met yet. He's a pretty cool dude.
Is he a robot that plays Tetris?
Nope.
Then he's not as cool as Tetris Bot.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to be as cool as Tetris Bot. But
that's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. But I love that game. I put way more time into it than I thought I ever would.
Yeah, you surprised me with that too.
Yeah, I thought I was just gonna. It's got like 4-player local multiplayer and online multiplayer actually. Now that I found a menu translation, but you can pick that game up on an import site. for not too much money.
Like less than a regular game.
But I think I picked up my copy for like $50.
That's not bad.
It's not. And PS4 and Xbox One are completely region free, so you can just pop that bad boy right in there.
And I'm assuming the multiplayer is not cross-platform.
I don't think so, but
I don't know why it would be. That'd be the craziest goddamn thing ever. But I was just
it's called the
just
PC,
wondering. Yeah,
which
I mean,
Puyo Puyo Tetris is not available for.
yeah. Oh, okay. I was like taking it back there for a second. I was like, obviously, I like PC games, but I don't think that game is on that platform.
No, it's not. But it's if you like Tetris and you've heard of Puyo Puyo, this is a game that you might like.
Or vice versa,
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, if you're in that boat.
Yeah, it's I mean, is it like a direct collaboration, or who makes that game?
Yeah, that's a really good question that if I was prepared, I would know.
I don't actually want to shame you for not being prepared. I should just look it up.
Well, in the meantime, why don't you tell me about a game that you played, and we'll just throw a wrench in this thing.
we're doing like a back and forth thing here.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it. Oh, it's developed by Sonic Team of all things.
What? Shut the.
No,
Are you sure?
I'm dead ass. According to
Oh, hey, there's a
Wikipedia.
3DS and a Wii U version.
Yeah, and a PS Vita. This thing came out on everything. It came out on PS3.
Can they just please just translate this game?
No, I think there's a big problem with using Tetris with other things in America.
Oh, because of EA.
Yeah, that's why.
EA got their claws into Tetris, and they're like, caw.
Precisely.
We're not letting it go. Hey, okay, so I'm going to tell you about a game now?
Yeah, sure.
This is crazy.
Okay.
This is madness. So I played Majora's Mask 3D.
Again?
A lot.
Uh-oh.
And it's like the number one most played game this week. Survey says number one game. I really, really like it. They did change some things, though, which took me by surprise.
Like what?
Do you remember? Well, I'm going to ask you about a game that came out in 1999, and you probably haven't played. You tried playing it since, I'm sure. Do you remember the Stone Mask?
Is that the name of the game?
No, it's a mask in Majora's Mask.
Not really. No.
Well, there's this like dying soldier ghost guy who needs a potion, and he's in a particular area in the original version, and they just changed him to a completely different area that admittedly makes sense in the context, but I wasn't ready for that. They changed the location of one bottle and then added another one, and now there's 7 bottles in that game.
Well,
7.
That's a lot of bottles.
I think they just had the bottom screen. They had like they have a grid of all the inventory, and it's like, I want to say it's like 4x4 or something, or maybe like 4x5. Mm-hmm. I think they started counting all the items, and they go, "Oh shit, there's gonna be an empty spot. What are we gonna do? There's gonna be an empty spot. What are we gonna do?" And they're like, calm down. Just put in another bottle. Everything's gonna be okay. We're just gonna put in another bottle, add a little mini game here. Everything's gonna be okay.
That's what I do when I have extra spaces. I just put a bottle in it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
No, I mean, empty bottles are like kind of generic placeholders in those games, and I always like having more, but I don't need 7.
I feel like I don't know, 4 is sufficient.
The original game had 6.
Yeah,
I always thought that was a crazy high amount, but I was okay with it.
wasn't that game?
4 is great. I'll take 4.
Wasn't that game? They had like an emphasis on having potions on you at all times.
Nah.
I feel like there's one that like you wanted.
I want to say that was one of the
potions.
newer ones.
Yeah, that might be true.
I want to say like Skyward Sword did that more.
That makes sense. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Have red potions always fully healed you?
I don't think so. I think I think it's a set amount of hearts. And I want to
Okay,
say
well,
it's
I never
10.
used them. I literally never use them in any game, any Zelda game I play, and I played like every single Zelda game.
Yeah.
But I noticed last night that Red Potion heals you fully in Majora's Mask 3D, and that's up to 20 hearts. So like maybe that's maybe they want you to use Red Potions.
Maybe.
Lon Lon Milk can only heal you up to 10 per bottle.
Oh, I think in Skyward Sword, because there is no Lon Lon Milk, there's like you put bugs in your potion and it makes it a super potion, and I think that was a thing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, there was a whole crafting system.
There was a time where that game was my favorite Zelda game. No longer.
Really? What replaced it? I was so proud of you for thinking that, because that game's really good, and you had the courage to stand up and say, hey, fuck the haters.
Fuck the haters.
I
this
like
game's
Skyward
great.
Sword. I love Skyward Sword.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's Wind Waker now.
Okay, acceptable. HD version?
Yes.
Okay, because the HD version is objectively better.
It is. The same with all of their remakes. I feel like they're objectively better. All the 3D ones are great.
The 3D version of Majora's Mask is incredible. And I actually had this thought the other day when I was playing it. I was like doing some obscure side quest stuff that I remember from like memorizing everything from that game when it came out in 1999. And I was like thinking about what I was doing, and I suddenly had this realization. I was like, if I had never played Majora's Mask before, I was just some random guy who owned a 3DS and I like Zelda games, and I picked this game up, how in the world would I know how to do any of this extra stuff? And the game like heard me talking about it and responded, because I was walking around Clocktown and the bombers, like the little kids in their secret club, just like walked up to me and gave me like a hint. They gave me like a rumor of like something that might be going on in Clocktown or otherwise. And it appeared in my bomber's notebook, in my like quest log. And it basically said like, hey, I heard some shit goes down at midnight of the first day in North Clocktown where the bomb lady could potentially be getting robbed. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that answers my question. If you've never played this game before, they include all these hints of like places you can potentially go to get heart pieces and like interact with the world. Because otherwise, without like having game FAQs open or having it memorized like me, I don't know how you possibly would know how to do any of that stuff in that game.
Yeah.
And a lot of the heart pieces, and there's so many heart pieces, a lot of heart pieces are like wicked esoteric, and like you'd never know how to get them that way unless they pushed you a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're good like that because they'll show you, like, I completed like the business shrub thing last night where you're selling land deeds to different shrubs.
Business shrub.
And they let you know like along the way how many. It's like every time you do a thing of it, a part of the chain, it brings up your menu and is like, all right, that part's done, and now there's another one. And then when I did the last one, it gave me a big old stamp. It was just like, all right, that quest chain's over. So I knew I didn't have to keep looking.
That's nice of
So
them.
they made some, they made some pretty modern improvements on it. I don't know if I'd say like everyone who owns a 3DS has to own Majora's Mask 3D, but I mean, if you're a Zelda fan, it's the best way to play this game. So you pretty much have to play it, or you like. I don't think you can call yourself a Zelda fan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody who likes Zelda will pick that up. Realistically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Okay, so you don't have. If you're a Zelda fan, you pick up Majora's Mask 3D. You don't have to like it. You can say, "Well, this deviates too much from the formula that I've come to love from Zelda." I respect that, but I think you should give it a shot because I think it does some pretty amazing things with the formula.
Yeah.
And I talked about for like 20 minutes last week. So. What else did you play this week, Ryan?
Oh boy, here's a doozy. Okay, are you ready for a doozy?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I picked up this game called Off-World Trading Company.
I think I've heard about this.
I'm surprised, honestly.
I hear about a lot of stuff.
It's.
I got my fingers in a lot of pies.
Do you? How many pies? Roughly.
Like 50.
That's a lot of pies.
I'm rounding.
you don't have that many fingers. So like, is it like a rotation system, or are you just pies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Sweet.
Yeah.
So,
yes. Okay.
Off-World Trading Company is the best way to describe this game is it's an Earth expedition Martian economic trading simulator.
Sounds thrilling.
It is. It's great. So the whole premise of the game is that you are a small startup company looking to excavate resources from Mars back
Looking
to Earth.
get into podcasting?
Yes.
Cool. That's very topical.
That's one of the main resources that you can farm.
Can you roast coffee beans?
Yes.
Do they drink coffee beans in space?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. All is true. So when you get to your little part of Mars, you like ping the surface to find nodes of like water and aluminum and iron and carbon and things like that. These are like your main resources that you use to get other things. And then once you do that, you set up your little base. And then you start small, and you get to build like 5 buildings. And so, but you need like water for all of the people who live in your little space colony, and food for those
Makes
people.
sense.
But you also need to like set up your economic empire. And so when you're pinging the world, you're like looking for what it's high in, which is going to be something that's not worth a lot. And so you want to find the thing on the map that there really isn't much of, and try to focus on it. In order to, because eventually what's going to happen is you and the people you're competing with are going to be competing for and selling these resources. And so there's this constant fluctuation of prices and things based on what you're producing, what everyone else is producing, and what you flood the market with. So it's super intense. Like I'm playing the tutorials right now, which are kind of hard as fuck. So I can't imagine like playing a real game. But the way the tutorials are structured, it's just like you walk in and you have to win as like one of the 4. There's like 4 different people you can be. There's like the humans, the scavengers, robots, and scientists, and each one is good at something, or they don't need a particular resource. Like robots,
robots don't drink water.
Exactly, robots don't need food. You still want water because a lot of your other buildings use water, like steel. Like steel manufacturing uses water. But like I was playing as the robots, and I noticed that food was selling for a lot. And so I started to make food, and despite not using it, I sold all the food and made a bunch of money. It was
that's a little bit messed up.
It was sick.
Would you eat food made by robots?
I think we do now, currently. So
yeah, but there's human intervention along the way. But like you're talking about food that's produced straight up by beings that don't need it or want it and know nothing about it.
Yeah, I bet you it's delicious.
You go to like the Welch's grape juice factory, and you ask the guy who runs the place, be like, what does Welch's grape juice taste like? He'd be like, I don't know. I don't have taste buds, and I don't drink grape juice. If I did, it would destroy the circuits in my body and kill me.
Sounds delicious.
I probably wouldn't drink Welch's grape juice in that situation. I also don't drink it now.
I might consider it. This podcast is sponsored by Welch's grape juice.
So about this game,
yes,
does it play out like an all at once, like a real time strategy type of thing? Like you sit down and you say, I'm playing as the robots, and I'm going to modify these things about my map, and I'm going to be facing off against the humans.
Yes,
and
so you and like I think it supports up to 6 total companies
on the same map.
And the maps are pretty small. You're pretty crammed in with the other opponents. It kind of looks like a Civ game, and in fact, one of the developers of Sim made this game. Civ, not Sim.
Is it hexagonal?
It is. There are many hexes to be had.
I had imagined up to this point. I had imagined like Warcraft 3, but with robots that made canned tuna. And now you're telling me there's hexagons, and I'm like, I'm out.
There's many hexes, and there's actually no units in this game that you can like control. All you're doing is you're constructing buildings that generate resources over time. And so the way you win a game of Off-World Trading Company is you have to accrue enough assets to be able to raise your stock price to the point where someone else can't buy you out, and then you have to buy out everybody.
It sounds like a combination of Tropico and Itadaki Street.
I don't know Itadaki Street.
You never played that at Yuki's house?
No.
The game with... Well, we played the version that was Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, and then you traded stocks and stuff and went around a board. And they had a DS version with Final Fantasy and Mario.
Nope.
Really?
Yep.
Like I said, let me refer you back to the fingers in my pies and how I know about so many games.
That's true. But I think this game is great.
Even though you're not done with the tutorial, you're gonna pass judgment on it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think.
Okay.
We'll
see how you feel about outer world,
off-world trading company.
Off-world trading company.
Yep,
that's what I said. Next week.
Okay, I'm gonna try to finish the tutorial. I'm almost done. I just need to win as Science, which is the last faction.
Science.
Yeah, Science.
Oh, you play as Science.
You just play as Science, and I don't know what they do yet. But I'm imagining it's sciencey.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. But
anything else you want to tell me about Off-World Trading Company?
Yeah, it's really good, and people should play it. The only thing that sucks is that
where can I play this game, and how much does it cost?
Okay, so it's on Steam. It is in early access. But they're pretty much just trying to look for game-breaking bugs and things that aren't supposed to happen, like as intended.
So it's done. Basically.
It's pretty much done. But it's $40.
Ooh.
So I
think that's why I think I saw it on Steam and I said $40 and I erased it from my memory.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And all I remembered was the name.
Yeah, so it just sounded so interesting when I heard about it that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. And I did it. And I don't regret it.
There's so many games I'd rather buy that cost that amount of money that I haven't been buying because they cost that amount of money.
Yeah. It's really good if you're into economic real-time strategy simulator things.
Yes, that subgenre.
That subgenre of real-time strategy game.
Well, is the next game you're going to talk about that game where you build machines that kill villagers?
How did you guess?
Because you told me you played it.
Yeah.
You texted me that. I'm going to talk about one though first.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything interesting to share with the team. The class.
No?
Because the rest of the games I play this week are games I've already played before.
Uh-oh.
I got back into Dark Souls 2.
Oh, good.
Because I was itching. Like I was...
Itching for a kitchen.
I was looking forward to the HD release that we're getting. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin.
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
On April 7th.
I forgot.
And that includes like all the DLC, and they also patched the game. They did like a major content patch to go along with it. Mm-hmm. But in my research, I was like looking up. I was like, I wonder what's being included in this patch, so I can educate myself and just prepare myself and fuel the hype train a little bit. And I found out that the content patch came out for the existing game on the 5th.
Oh, shit.
So, I was playing that to see what's up. I'm obviously still going to get I already pre-ordered the re-release, the HD version for the Xbox One. because I don't have all the DLC.
How
and
many monies is that?
I'm pretty sure the HD version. You mean?
Yeah,
It's a full price. I think it's $60.
that's a bummer.
But I guess it's mostly for people who never played the original version. The PC version is getting everything. They're getting the graphical enhancements. You just have to buy the DLC. Like, you can buy it. They're going to bundle it with the DLC. But the PC version is getting the content and the graphical enhancements on April 7th. So,
Oh, do I not have to buy a new version?
not on PC.
Because
do you have it on PC?
I do.
Oh yeah, you can just like play that game, but
Oh,
you
great.
won't get the DLC. You'll have to just like buy the DLC if you want to play it.
So here's the thing:
And
I never.
I've heard that
understood.
there's like 3 bits of DLC,
Yeah.
and they add like 15 hours of gameplay.
Uh-huh.
So,
So
or like not each, but like maybe a total of give or take 20, depending on how bad you are at that game.
I'm pretty bad.
And you were saying the thing about this game?
Yeah. So what I don't get about Dark Souls DLC is they never like tell you where it is.
Yeah, they give you hints. The first game was terrible about that.
Yeah.
You kind of had to just fly by the seat of your pants and try and figure it out. It's almost impossible to figure out where the first one is. In the second game, after you buy the DLC, any character you load into is given an item,
Yep.
like the White King's key or something, and it like gives you a hint to where the door that it unlocks might be, and then you go in there and that's the DLC area.
See, that's much better than the first game.
Yeah, the first game required it did like literally nothing changed until you killed this particular enemy that existed in the base game, and only in the DLC did he drop an item that served as a key to when you go to a different place that you honestly may never ever go when you play that game. You could easily never go to the place where the DLC begins.
Man,
It's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, that
And
seems
that game's
real.
so esoteric.
that seems real goofy.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any shame in playing that game with Google open.
I do
Zero shame.
for sure.
All right.
Um,
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to play it that way, you want to just not experience the whole game, or you want to intentionally just surprise yourself. Yeah, I think that's a way to play that game. But I think playing it with a wiki open is completely fine. That's just a way to play that game. But I got into Dark Souls 2 again because the hype train was just going off the rails.
Hype
Like I was so excited for some reason for the re-release, and I just made a character and started just like playing through the first bits of the game. I haven't really made it that far, but I remember more about that game than I thought I did because I love the first one so much, and the second one was my favorite game last year.
ooh,
Of all of last year.
all of the last year.
Yeah, even though it came out in like the beginning of March.
That's okay.
And I kind of forgot about it, and then I was thinking about my Game of the Year stuff, and I was like, no, definitely, it was my favorite game.
Did that
last
game
year.
really come out last year? I feel like it's been out for longer.
It came out like this time last year.
Man, because like Bloodborne's
Or-
coming up here in like a month,
Yeah, March 20 something.
and that's crazy.
It is crazy.
From Software, just cranking those
pre-ordered
bitches out.
Well, From Software was working in collaborations with Sony Computer Entertainment Japan
Uh-oh.
to make Bloodborne, and then Dark Souls 2 is just a re-release, so they probably just farted that one out.
I know I did.
It's a graphical. I don't even know what that means. It's just a graphical boost, and
Yeah.
like there's some content. They add like a new character, and there's a new boss that is like people are saying is like the new final boss, which is good because the final boss of Dark Souls 2 is considered to be underwhelming by most, but links to the first game in a really interesting way.
Neat.
And I'm just getting way ahead of myself. All I wanted to say was I played Dark Souls 2, and that game's fun.
That game is
I'm gonna
fun.
play it some more this week, probably.
8 out of 10.
I give it like a 9 out of 10. We talk about 9 IGNs.
Sure.
The official scale that IGN uses to rate its games.
Yep.
9 out of 10 IGNs.
9
In-game
9
names.
IGNs out of 10 IGNs.
Do you think IGN's name, that website, comes from in-game name?
I doubt
which
it.
is what IGN stands for.
Is that what it really stands for?
Well, it's something that it could stand for.
I mean, it also could stand for Ignite Gorons now, but I don't think it stands for that either.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't. And so I'd be like, oh man, I'd be like at work, and you'd be there, and we'd be working together, and we'd think that we were both normal people, and then you'd be like, oh, yeah, I got a raid on Sunday. I was like, oh shit, man, you play WoW, dude? What's your IGN? And then that's how I would communicate to you that I'm also some kind of freak.
I like World of Warcraft.
I know. Tell me about Besieged, or whatever the hell that game is called. What's it called?
It's almost called that. It's Besiege.
Besiege. I always like to add an extra letter at the end of the names of my games when I don't know the name.
That's fine. That's okay.
Tell me about it. I've seen lots of GIFs going around on the Reddit.
There's one where there's a robot dude, and they made him a piston dick.
He's got a. Did you see the one where he shoots flames?
Yeah, and that was great. Oh man.
My other favorite one was this guy who just made basically a series of bombs arranged into a grid.
Yep.
Like a square-shaped grid, and then you put a helicopter blade on it, and it just lifted into the air, and the whole thing started spinning, and then at a certain point he deployed all the bombs, and it created a massive just carpet bomb.
Oh, it sounds so good.
Just dude, it was so satisfying. I can only imagine how long it took that guy to make that and get it perfect like that.
Not very long. The physics in that game are super fucked up, so you'll notice you put a spinning block on something, and then you up the rate of spinning, and that's very easily achieved.
Really?
Yeah.
And this game's in early access, right?
It is. I think there's going to be some kind of. I think at the end it's going to be a puzzle game where you build a machine to solve a problem. There's currently one world in there right now where you do that.
The game's not actually about killing people with machines?
I mean, that's usually
just
part
like
of
a
it.
tech demo?
It's usually part of it, yeah. So there's, I think it's the third level. There's a rock wall with a bunch of archers on top, and the whole goal of it is to build something to destroy the little farm behind the wall. And so my first thought was, well, I need to get over the wall. Let me make a flying machine. And so I worked on that for probably a whole week.
I would have thought trebuchet. We need a trebuchet.
I tried to make a catapult, and for whatever reason, I got to make a flying machine before I could make a successful catapult.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. That seems crazy to me.
It did.
That
I skipped a whole bunch of science in there. They just skip right. Well, we can't get this rock to fling off this stick. Let's take off and fly over the wall, which I did. I did it very well.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. I mean, that's the interesting thing about that game, I think, is that you can solve it a billion different ways.
Exactly. So, each problem is tackleable in 1,000 different ways, if not hundreds of thousands of different ways. And you can just build some stupid shit. After I had made my flying machine, I went on the internet, and I looked up other people's flying machines, because I'm well, I made a dinky little one that was just it only kind of worked, and it got me over the wall, and I threw a bomb twice, which was pretty cool. And then I saw this guy's I made an airship carrier.
Oh shit!
And so the nice thing about that game is you can import people's buildings. And so I did, and I have a pretty nice computer. It's very nice. I have a very good graphics card and a pretty good processor.
Do you have a 970?
I have a 980.
Okay, good, because I just heard that NVIDIA is getting sued because there's some sort of false advertising about the 970.
Oh, cool. Oh.
Actually, maybe not good, because you probably might have gotten some sweet class action lawsuit cash out of it.
Oh man, there's one time I got class action lawsuit cash from Apple.
Yeah,
I got $300.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What did you buy?
I don't even know. I'm pretty sure it was iPod Classic related.
Oh, okay, so this is a while ago. The only
might
one
have
that
been
comes to mind
$200.
is the only one that comes to mind is about class action lawsuits for Apple is my child bought all of the in-game purchases because you didn't gate them in any way.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
.com.
Yeah.
But everyone got like $8 if that happened.
Yeah.
I think.
No, one day I got like a check in the mail, and I'm like, this check just says $200 on it. This can't be right.
And it was signed by Steve Jobs.
Nope, it was signed by a lawyer man. But
lawyer man.
Anyway, back to Besiege.
Okay, so this thing like crashed your computer.
It
or
didn't
something?
crash it, but like there were so many moving parts in this airship carrier that it took all 10 of my fingers to fly it, and then
Oh, shit.
and then even if I could get it off the ground, once you start up all of the spinning, it's just like 2 frames a second. So it was so slow. There's just
How'd that guy even make that? Is he like work? He's like works at the Pentagon. He has like the most powerful computer in the nation.
I don't know how he like got to the point where there was A, so many pieces, and B, to the point where he could like accurately test it to like get it off the ground. But it flies, and it drops bombs.
2 frames a second.
And that thing has like 8 little helicopter bombers on it, and you fly them independently.
That's insane.
It's nuts. I'm like, okay, clearly this game is too big for my britches, and I just want to make little flying doohickeys, and so I do.
Do you think that there'd be a single puzzle in the final game that thing could not solve?
I think most of the puzzles it couldn't solve because
0 frame rate.
because 0 frame rate. Also, on when you're not in sandbox mode, it limits the amount of space your machine can take up.
Oh, okay.
So that would definitely not meet this requirement.
Yeah, that could hold you back.
Yeah, they have to do something to. I don't know.
This game is apparently $7.
It is worth every penny.
I wonder if I'm trying to see if they mention if it's going to increase in price when it is finally released.
I mean, a lot of them end up doing so. I wouldn't.
I would think they would there'd be at least a $15 game.
I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised
least
if it was a $15 game. That's what it feels like.
It's not even. Yeah. I could definitely see this being a $15 game, but $7, I might buy that shit right now.
I think you should
live.
I think you should buy it live on air for our listeners to hear you purchase.
I don't really like all this peer pressure that we got going on.
think-
This doesn't foster a good environment. I'm buying it.
Good.
I'm adding it to cart. Give me a Pepsi.
Peer pressure cast.
Purchase for myself.
I think it's always nice that Steam's like, would you like to buy this for someone else? And I'm like, fuck no.
No, hell no.
For me, bitch.
I got money in my Steam wallet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying this shit. I got a bunch
yeah.
of money in my Steam wallet.
I love this game. It's
working.
stupid.
Oh god, it's so scary how fast I buy things. I just bought the thing.
That's digital age, man.
I've been meaning to buy that game anyways. It looks wicked cool. It looks like the kind of game that I would not have any idea how to play.
You don't.
But if you can play it, I probably do. I could probably figure it out.
It's one of those things where it's sort of, it reminds me a lot of Kerbal Space Program, which is another game that I love.
Oh man, you love that
I
game.
fucking love Kerbal Space Program. I love sandbox building vehicle games. I've decided.
I got a game for you.
Yep.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Oh fuck. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan, can I tell you about a game that I played? It's gonna make you really mad.
Oh sure, go for it.
I played more Destiny.
Ah shit.
I can't remember what my play count or like my hour count on Destiny. It's got to be up to 150 hours by now.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
Which that is nothing compared to some people out there.
Ask me about my WoW slash played.
Hey man, no, I mean this got nothing on my WoW slash played either.
Yeah, that's true.
I love Destiny.
Why?
I think that game is great. I think it's fun.
I don't think that's
I've been
true.
playing it with my friend who recently just picked up the game when it was on sale.
Yep.
And we've just been doing, some of the we've been doing like replaying some of the strikes to get like new stuff, to like get better gear and stuff like that. But hey, like we've been replaying them, but I mean that's what it is. Like you don't there's only a certain number of dungeons in WoW. There's only a certain number of raid bosses, and you have to do them over and over. Like it's a thing. It's an MMO shooter.
See,
but the shooting in that game just is so good.
That
like,
I do like. It
feels so good. It's so like snappy, and the movement and the double jumping and like the sparrow you ride. Like they got the gameplay down figured out.
Yeah,
there are some issues with the content and the size of the maps and the number of the maps and the variety. And they also handled they increased the level cap when they released the first expansion thingy.
Yeah.
And the way they handled like making sure people just didn't buy super powerful gear from the new expansion right away. They handled that kind of poorly, but they recognized that.
Yeah.
So the next expansion is going to hopefully be a little bit different. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for that. But like level cap's 32 and you can only get there with raiding. And you need a 6-man team to do that.
Ooh.
And I play on the Xbox One, and there's only 5 people who play on the Xbox One. So.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even if you got to level 30,
I won't.
It's like all of us is only 5 people.
Oh, so we just need one more dude.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
And me
if
to
we can get
me
and
to play
then
the
find
game.
a time that all of us can play, which is impossible.
Oh man, that sounds pretty shitty.
But I really like that game. And I've just been leveling up my dudes. I've been doing that whole WoW thing where you're just like, I need gear. Like, why? It's like, I just need it. I need gear. I need gear. It's like, why? You're already at the max level. You could just stop playing now. It's like, no, I need gear.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at that point now in WoW because they just released a new
are.
patch, and I can grind for new profession gear.
Is that a game that you played this week?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty much done with Destiny. I was just, not done with it. I'm just done talking about it for now. I think that game's super fun. The strike bosses and stuff, although repetitive, if you're playing them with other people, super duper fun. One of the best multiplayer experiences I've had in a while is just kind of bullshitting and just playing a super good shooter game with your bros and like trying to get new gear.
I don't think I like shooting enough to like play that game.
That's fair. You kind of have to.
Yeah,
it's kind of prerequisite.
And then
just like if you play WoW a lot, you have to really like playing the piano.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need a new 1 key on my keyboard.
I bet you do.
I mashed that son of a bitch.
Tell me about WoW. How's Black Rock Foundry going for you, or whatever the fuck that thing's called?
Great. That was actually correct.
Is it the newest one?
Yeah, that's the newest one. Just came out a couple weeks ago. It's super good. The bosses are super tight.
Super good SNL references in there. Yeah.
What?
Hans and Franz.
Oh yeah, that happened. Oh, that's a great fight.
Like two. Are they are they just giant orcs?
They're giant, like lumbering orc dudes. Yeah. So that we did that fight. Me and my raid team, the Raidy Brunch.
Is that what you guys call yourselves?
That's what we call ourselves.
Oh man, that's actually pretty funny.
It's pretty great. I didn't.
You
come
should
up
see
with
the big goofy smile I got on my face right now after hearing that.
I got a big goofy smile just talking about it. So we downed Hans and Franz for the first time last week, which was Sunday. And the thing about that fight and the thing about other people with that fight is that the way it works is there's two blacksmithy ogre dudes or orc dudes in the room, and they're jumping around and shit, and they're like on 5 conveyor belts that move different shit you have to not stand in and get hit by. But when you're in that fight, and I play a Windwalker Monk, which is a melee class. We have to...
You're really good at explaining stuff about people who don't know. I just assume that everyone who listens to this podcast knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out real quick.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, and so I realize what has to happen. At least kind of. So anyway, so I'm on my Windwalker Monk, and we're doing the dance, and we're running behind, Franz, and I'm like, punch him in the butt because that's what melee does. And
yeah, specifically, don't Windwalker Monks shouldn't they always be behind the target, or they changed that?
They added back the nice glyph that makes it so that I don't have to be behind bosses anymore.
Kick?
Yeah. Which is great, by the way. Anyway, so we're doing that, and the conveyor belts are moving, and they all move against the way the boss is facing, and a lot of people, and myself included, have had a lot of motion stick problems with that fight.
Really?
Yeah, it's super.
Do you think they might actually change it because of that?
They might have to. I was doing it last week, and I was like, "Oh, this is fine." And then when we just did it now, for the first clear, I was just like, and I actually died because I couldn't, like,
you couldn't even.
I couldn't even. I was like,
That's crazy.
There's a lot of moving parts in that instance. And it's just like stampers coming down, and there's these sheets of hot metal that we call Pop-Tarts because they look like Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, I mean,
It's intense.
I know what you're talking about. Actually,
Pop-Tarts?
now that I'm thinking about it, they do look like Pop-Tarts.
Right?
The only reason I'm familiar with it is because I watched you beat them last week.
Oh yeah.
In a rare instance, I was at your house on Sunday morning. I can definitely see how people get motion sick from that.
It's
I mean,
rough.
I don't ever, because I'm a freak. But I can definitely see how they'd be possible.
See, I don't usually either. Like, I can, read books in the car, play games in the car. I can go on boats. I can go on planes. No problem at all. Hans and Franz, all over the place.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, when I was little, I couldn't read in the car. It made me want to just puke and die.
Yeah.
But my mom was a read in the car champ.
Mm-hmm.
But then I would play the bonus levels in Sonic 3, the 3D ones where you have to like jump over
all
stuff.
Over your Game
and
Gear.
no, and I was like, yo, this shit just makes sense. And my mom would walk in the room and she'd just like immediately become like ill.
Yep.
Like she couldn't even handle it. But I was fine.
Do you know?
Then you give me a book and put me in a car, and I'm like,
Do you know the Sky Golem mount in WoW?
that's not the one.
It's the one.
For some reason, the only thing I could think of was the Vial of Sand just now.
No,
I
it's
the Sky
the
Golem.
engineering mount from Mists of Pandaria that looks like one of the Goblin Shredder things, and it flies around.
I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
Well, I made one, which took an entire month. I was so excited when I finished it, and I got in that thing. And it's like cool walking around, stamp, stamp, stamp. I'm a shredder guy.
Okay, I have seen this thing.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, cool, it's time to fly. And so I get up in the air, and it does all of these neat, like, flippy, turny, flippy things when it's flying around. I'm like, oh, this is so dope. And I would fly from whatever that's called, I can't remember. It's only like
Shitty Alliance Place.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd
Shitty Alliance Place.
Shitty Alliance Place, and I'd fly to my farm over the mountain and all that shit.
The Shrine of Seven Moons. Is that what your one was called?
Maybe. It's either two moons or 7 suns or I don't know.
7 stars, I think.
Something like that.
Oh, that whatever.
Shitty Alliance Place.
Irrelevant. Yeah.
So I would fly over the mountain, and then he's doing all these flippy shits, and I'm just like, so this is not like the first motion sick WoW moment I've ever had. To this day, I can't use that flying mount. I can't.
Are you serious?
It's so rough, dude. It's so rough.
Dude, you spend so much time and money on developing that thing, and you can't even use it. That's horrible.
30 days of engineering cooldowns later, and I can't do it. Luckily, it makes a really cool ground mount, so that's fine.
Okay. It also apparently can become a submarine.
Are you serious? I didn't even know that.
That's what I saw a thing that said, like in the PTR 5.4, it could become a submarine. I don't know if that like stayed in the game or whatever.
I want to say I don't think so, but I don't know.
Here's the funny thing about WoW.
Lay it on me.
Is that you are? I mean, you obviously play more WoW than I do. You're my WoW friend. Like you're that guy who I know who plays WoW.
Yes.
And because no one else plays WoW, I think I may be that for you. Because you always text me about random WoW things, even though you know I don't even have a level 100 yet.
Yeah, I do. That's true.
And you're just like, oh shit, well, I gotta tell someone something about WoW. Who am I gonna tell? Nick. That guy. He knows what WoW is.
Well, I could like tell my brother, but
the big one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I think he wanted to be my friend on BattleNet.
Not
one
surprised.
time, so maybe I did know that. Except we are like locked in a deadly struggle of Alliance versus Horde forever.
It's awful.
Although I do have 3 Alliance characters because I know so many people who play Alliance that I was just like, well, if I ever want to play WoW with these guys, I should probably level some Alliance characters.
Yeah,
That's on the old server that you slash and burned and escaped from.
I did, yeah.
But I like the thought of. I almost made a gnome last night.
Are you fucking retarded?
I almost made it. I was like, what Alliance character can be mage?
Gnome.
I almost made a gnome.
So what did you make that isn't a gnome?
It was a human, but I don't know if I'm like keeper or whatever. I almost made another Draenei female.
I mean, I have like
'Cause they're my favorite.
I have like 5 dwarves. So that's I have 3 dwarves.
I've got a million blood elves.
Right.
So
you have your favorites.
It's
It's okay.
with that. And then I actually Draenei is my favorite race. I love that they're on Alliance. I love how Russian they are.
They're great.
And I find their women to be alluring. I got to tell you, Ryan, I tricked you.
Did you?
And I tricked you into talking about WoW because that was the next game that I played this week.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah. So I only played a little bit. I picked it up like within the past 2 days because of 6.1.
Yeah.
And heirlooms and stuff.
Yeah.
I got my silly mount for level 1 characters.
Me too.
That's like an orc man in a tuxedo drives me around in a sidecar, and that's the coolest thing ever.
If that thing was
I was talking to
yeah.
I was talking to my friend who also plays WoW last night, and he said something along the lines of like, "It's so retarded that you can get a level 1 mount." And I was like, you know why that is? It's because who the fuck cares anymore?
Yeah, you can.
Leveling doesn't exist.
Yeah, you can get to level 20 in about 3 hours.
And now that you can just buy heirlooms with gold.
Yep.
It's like, and just have a level 1, like a level 90 character.
Yep.
Well, 90 to 100 still takes some time because that's the current expansion.
You can buy heirlooms for level 100.
Yeah, but that costs a lot, bro.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to do it because I'm a fucking psychopath.
No, it costs a lot. Like, at least 2,000 per heirloom.
Like, I did get, and I did upgrade the 5 armor pieces for my druid to level.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
and I'll probably do that for everyone.
I just spent a bunch of gold on heirlooms. If I upgrade them,
yeah, I bought all the neck pieces, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I got that and some weapons.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to. I don't have that much gold. I don't know if I want to invest it all into maybe just getting a cloth set for my priest or something. I don't know.
You know what I haven't fucked with
feel like
yet?
What?
Fucking WoW money. I have like no idea how to make money this expansion, and it makes me.
Oh, that must really be upsetting for you.
It
'cause
is.
You're all about running that auction house.
It is because I mean, like, yeah, I can sell some BOEs and shit, and it's just like, fuck it. It's all everybody can get the same shit. There's nothing that you can sell that
And
makes
people can
money.
only wear 3 pieces of crafted at a time.
Yeah, that's still true. And like everybody has them already. I mean, I could probably sell like fully upgraded versions. That would probably make money, but I don't.
Dude, gemming? Enchants?
Gems make a little bit of money, but I just can't get enough resources. So
I bet enchantment's where it's at.
same problem. I don't know. I have to figure it out. And none of like the gold people that like I used to find have updated any of their shit.
Maybe they just kind of took that shit out on purpose. Like they didn't want people.
I mean, I get enough money because like I have all of my alts do the treasure missions, which gets a pretty decent amount of gold at the end of the day. Because I mean,
Is that a follower mission?
yeah, like there, if you get a into level 3, you unlock these treasure missions, which are like 100 gold each.
Oh, cool.
So like if you do like 3 of them across like 4 characters, it's a decent amount of gold.
Oh, I'm gonna have to invest in that shit. That sounds awesome.
Sounds pretty good. You should do it.
Ryan, did you play anything else this week besides WoW? Because I feel like the past 10 minutes, if you don't play WoW, this podcast, you're like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's the extent.
That's it for you?
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you about one more game that I played that I've played before I talk about some news.
Okay, go for it.
I played Guitar Hero.
Did you?
2.
2?
Yeah, I the other night, or like a week ago, or like a month ago, I I was drinking beers, and I was like, I'm going to buy a Guitar Hero 3 guitar on eBay.
Good.
And I did. And it's awesome. It's in great condition. I can't imagine getting a better price for it. I do need to make some adjustments because the design of that thing is flawed because the neck detaches from the body.
Gross.
But there are some pretty simple modifications I can do to make sure that it get a little bit extra life out of it. And then more recently, I was drinking some beers, and I was like, I need Guitar Hero games now, even though I have Rock Band 3 and a bunch of DLC.
Yeah.
So I got Guitar Hero World Tour. The guitar came with 3, and I got a pack that was Guitar Hero 2 and Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
Oh, shit.
And I popped in Guitar Hero 2, and I was like, played like the first set of songs, and I was like, oh, cool. I have to play songs I don't like. I don't want to play this game.
Yeah, that's how that
Because
game
when
works.
I play Rock Band, and even if you play in the one-player mode in like Rock Band 3, you can just pretty much pick which songs you want to play for those tour challenges.
It's true, yeah.
And so the fact that it was like I had to play this song I'd never heard before, like Awesome Possum or something, I can't remember what it was called. I was a little bit off put by that.
Yeah.
But I just love Guitar Hero and Rock Band and everything, so I'm still kind of into it. But there's so many other games I'm playing. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with Guitar Hero. Speaking of Guitar Hero, there's actually a rumor going around that at E3 they're going to announce a new one that's more realistic.
Boggles my mind.
Yeah, I mean, Activision still's got the rights to that, and they're really good at driving rhythm games into the ground. So after they killed it, I thought it would just stay dead. Like, I don't really see a DDR reboot coming anytime soon.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
But maybe they've been listening to the ground, listening to the footsteps, hearing the hooves coming, and they're like, now is the time for, in the absence of Rock Band, now is the time for a plastic guitar game. Although there's another rumor going around
Rock Band.
that it's a little bit more than a rumor, that Rock Band is getting a next generation release of some kind, or a current generation.
I really hope that if that happens, I don't have to drop another like $300 on a new set of plastic instruments.
That would probably, I think that would be their kiss of death. I think that
Yep.
they would die if they made everyone do that, because there's so many people who aren't going to do that. There's probably so many people who would say, I'm going to buy this game, probably buy a lot of DLC, as long as I can keep my instruments, and they've just got to figure out some way to make that work.
Yeah.
Against all odds. I think that's what Harmonix has to do. I'm going to go drive to Harmonix headquarters right now and tell them that.
Okay, good. You should do that.
It's probably like 45 minutes from my house.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
Not even.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot they're a Boston company.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Speaking of music games
Yeah.
and music in general, so I've been writing some more,
Good.
and I'm trying to find music to listen to while I write, and I want like music with lyrics because it'll fuck up my writing. I'm singing and I want to sing along, and every once in a while, and so I've been looking for some good video game soundtracks to listen to.
Tell me about it.
I've the hashtag Super Brothers soundtrack, Sword and Sorcery, which is, I think the title of the album is Ballad of the Space Babies.
That sounds great.
It's a really good soundtrack for it's just a really good soundtrack it's an indie game. Came out on iOS first as a PC release. Got a couple ones to listen to. Super Meat Boy is obviously great.
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight,
Great
dude.
soundtrack.
I didn't even do that. I have the Minecraft one to listen to. The Bastion soundtrack.
That's a
is
great
amazing. I don't know if I could
soundtrack.
write to it, but the Bastion soundtrack is objectively amazing.
Yep.
Dust Force has a really, really good soundtrack. Risk of Rain is a good one.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I downloaded I got all this stuff from my extensive collection of Humble Bundles. I downloaded the Saints Row the Third original soundtrack, which Saints Row is full of all sorts of licensed music, and they've got like 8 tracks that were composed for the game, and they're actually pretty good. And Thomas Was Alone has a pretty cool soundtrack too. Very chill.
Yeah.
Probably get some good writing done to that. Ryan, we're just about hitting an hour exactly. I'm just gonna fire off some news in some sort of speed round.
Fire off the news. Here we go. Start the clock.
So I'm just gonna read you. I'm gonna read you this line from my show notes.
Yep.
The way I wrote it.
Okay.
Young boys Destiny characters deleted by man who looked God in the face.
Okay.
Did you hear about this at all?
No.
Okay, so apparently the PS4 has some sort of function where you can let other people assume control of your console for some reason.
Yes, it's to help stupid people play games.
That sounds stupid. That's a bad idea.
Yep.
But even worse, this guy is an 11-year-old kid. He was told, some guy on Destiny told him that if he let him control his console, he'd show him some awesome glitch. And so he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walked away from his PS4 for some reason.
Why would you do that?
And that guy took the opportunity to delete 2 of his characters.
Oh my god.
And then everyone's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, that's not even cool. Why would you do that? Just an 11-year-old kid. What the F? And then, like, people reached out to him. And I read the story on Game Informer. Game Informer reached out to this guy who supposedly did the deleting. Mm-hmm. He's the owner of the account, officially. Like, Kermit the Frog, or it's the name of the account or something. And he's like, they got a response from his mother. And was like, hey, my son got into a terrible head-on car collision, like, 6 months ago. And he's been, like, kind of foobar ever since and, like, messed up on pain medication that makes him sleep all the time. And the kid was basically just like, he's not like a kid. He's, like, probably a little bit younger than us.
Yeah.
But he was like, I don't know. There's, like, people, like, come over and, like, use my PS4 and stuff. And, like, I'm basically, like, passed the fuck out all the time because of pain medication. And I don't know who did that. And I think it's kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, this story got out of hand fast.
Yeah,
I thought it was just some kid being a dick, and then it was like, oh my god! I heard about the guy who like almost died in a car crash, and I'm like,
that's some shit.
All right, quick call back to last week.
Yep.
Grow Home. They've announced that if the PC version sells well enough, they're going to make a console version for Xbox One and PS4.
That would be dope.
Would you actually rebuy it?
Nope.
All right. More Rock Band DLC came out this week.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 2 more songs.
Great.
Just to reinforce that whole maybe they're coming back thing.
They're coming back. It's happening.
Something is happening over there.
Rock Band 4, PS5.
So the Order 1886 came out.
I heard that's a bad game.
Oh, I thought for sure that you would have purchased it and played it right away because it's a new IP and no one knows. Right before the game came out, there was this rumor coming around. Someone played through the whole campaign and the game was only 5 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
people were
$12
freaking
per
out.
hour.
People were freaking out about. You can get. Yeah. People were freaking out about the length of the game, as people tend to do, because games are supposed to be long, which is not true. They have to provide a good experience. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't have like a ton of time to play video games. If a game can give me like a really cool, life-changing experience in 5 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's way more powerful than like a game that lasts for 20 hours that I just kind of don't have the time for.
Or a game that lasts for 10 years. Like, wow.
Yeah. That is the opposite side of the spectrum.
Right.
People come out saying that it takes longer than that, especially if you're playing on hard.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I've heard that game is just a corridor. That's all I'm hearing is that it's just you walk down a corridor and you shoot a werewolf and you keep moving.
That sounds
There's
bad.
No deviation at all.
I think Giant Bomb gave it a 2.
Really?
Yep.
That is not high praise.
I mean, their 2 is out of 5, so
yes, but still, that's
undeniably
it's pretty. It's not high praise.
Yeah, it's pretty not well received from what I can see. I will buy that game for $10.
Yeah, I might play that game for $10. Yeah. It's got a 66 Metacritic, so take that with what you will.
I won't.
All right, last news: the first Animal Crossing for the GameCube, the first speed run, 100% speed run of Animal Crossing was completed this week.
What?
Do you want to wager how fast the speed run happened? 100% got every item in the original Animal Crossing.
When did that game come out?
The GameCube, so 2002, 2003, maybe?
13 years.
No, he did it. Well, no, he's a speedrunner who did it.
Yeah, 13 years.
He did it in 71 hours.
That's a long time.
He may have been using some sort of duplication glitch, but that's how long it takes. That's the world record, 100% speed run for Animal Crossing, 71 hours.
That's fucking nuts.
He devoted himself to getting every single item, and that includes I'm assuming he did all sorts of save, date manipulation and glitching and stuff like that to get everything. But still, that's insane.
That's fucking bananas.
The dedication, because I remember watching Awesome Games Done Quick this past interval that they do that at, and they did a quick speed run of just like in 45 minutes they were able to get themselves out of debt with Tom Nook, which was pretty impressive. But 71 hours to get everything, man. It's done it. People are out there playing games the hard way. They're getting it done.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Okay. I got my news in for the week. I was just so excited about the news. I had to just
get some news in, girl.
Man.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, I had to do it. Everybody should go to www.bearversusman.com. I've been writing some stuff.
Yeah, you have.
I wrote a thing. I'm working on some other stuff, but I got some bad writer's block. I don't have as much time to devote to it as I'd like to. But I'm working on some stuff. I'm assuming Ryan is as well.
I haven't written shit this week, but I'm working on something.
You got the thought train going, because at a certain point I just had to stop and say like, I'm not ready to write this because I haven't thought about it enough.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple of side projects that I'm not ready to talk about. I might write something up about Off-World Trading Company, because I want to tell people about that game in another format.
I think you should.
Yeah, it's a good game.
I'm just like when I'm working, like I'm at my day job or I'm doing whatever, I just like generally sometimes think about writing, and after a certain amount of thinking, I go, all right, now I'm ready to like actually put pen to paper, so to speak, and I haven't done enough thinking about this article I'm working on, so
right on.
It's going to be a bit. But go to bearversusman.com. You can listen to the podcast there, obviously. We're also on iTunes now. Which is insanity.
Yep.
We're listed, I'm assuming we're listed under gaming. You just look for Bear vs. Mancast.
Funny story about that, real quick.
Yeah.
So when you make a podcast, you have to tell iTunes what category you want to be in. And for a small monochrome of time, we were listed in the automobile category.
Because they automatically put us there, or because you hit the wrong button?
No, because I put in games and hobbies is the overarching category, and then video games is under that. But in games and hobbies, the first one is automobiles. And so since I didn't select a subcategory, it put us in automobiles. Yeah, that's my story.
I hope one person listened to it thinking it was about cars. I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is about them video games.
Oh, what? This is bullshit.
I wanted to learn about hammies.
Hammies.
Yeah, listen to me isolate groups of people here. But yeah, look for us on iTunes. That'd be kind of cool. Listen to it on your phone.
Yeah.
Or just go to our website and check it out there. There's lots of links there. Email us, follow us on Twitter, etc., etc.
Nick, what is the email address?
Go check it out for sure.
You should tell people about it.
About what?
Our email address.
Okay, so if you want to email us the podcast specifically, it's bearversusmangaming@gmail.com. But like I said, if you're looking for links to all this stuff, Bear vs. Man, all that stuff is on there somewhere.
bearversusman.com.
I think.
All the links.
And I think everyone should have like a really fantastic week going forth. It's a beautiful, sunny, frigid Wednesday out, and I'm going to go just have a great time.
Yeah, man.
In the cold. And play some video games.
Yeah, play video games. Play one video game this week, and you'll be well on your way to a life of success.
A life of a crippling video game obsession like we have.
Right. That. All right, man.
Yeah. See you later. Bye, everybody.